Anxiety. Okay, so feeling anxious, feeling the butterflies in your stomach, just that unease about the future, it isn't not a fun feeling. And more people than perhaps you may think deal with anxiety. I feel like almost everybody deals with it some degree to another, right? And for some people, they're incredibly confident for the most part and really only deal with it here and there. And then there's other people who it cripples them, and that really destroys the quality of someone's life. Anxiety really is no fun to any degree, whether you're super confident or somebody who's completely crippled to any capacity. You really don't want to deal with it, but it's inevitable. It's inevitable, and I want to talk about a few ways to basically destroy it, right? Now, really, I go about it in one of two ways. One, you cope with the symptoms, or two, you condition yourself to not actually get the symptoms, right? So one is coping, one is conditioning. Now, I think you need both, okay? And I think it's inevitable that as you go through your life, you're going to have to do both. But essentially, I would like to look at them in a different light. Whereas one is more of a short-term solution in actually coping with the anxiety during an actual moment, right? It's an acute solution. Conditioning yourself to deal with it is the longer-term solution. So let's think about an example in my life. So, as a martial artist, I do kickboxing. I really like to do Dutch kickboxing, Muay Thai, and I really get into it. So when I first started sparring, oh my God, every morning, days before sparring, right? And we go at it, right? So this is not like, light sparring, tap sparring. No, we strike each other. And every morning, it was Saturday mornings before we'd go to spar, man, I would feel nervous. I felt it in my belly. I felt, right? Felt scared. I felt withdrawn. I felt, just this pressure in my head. But really the biggest thing was that feeling in the belly that anybody who's dealt with anxiety knows. And essentially the question was how do you really deal with this? And so for me, this was the biggest thing. Show up. Yep. And that's the conditioning method, right? Is the more times you expose yourself to a stressor, the better you're going to be in conditioning yourself in dealing with it. It's just like social situations. At first, maybe you're anxious, and then the more times you go, you get used to it. I guess at a subconscious and a conscious level, you realize nothing bad is really going to happen to you. Show up. It's usually never as bad as you think it's going to be. Usually it's the journey there that's the anxiety-inducing part. And the more times you show up, the more conditioned your psyche, your spirit, your soul will become. So that's really essentially the conditioning method. But in the moment, you're dealing with it, you have the butterflies in your stomach. My biggest solution to curing anxiety is meditation. Okay? Now, as I practice, the form of meditation I do is transcendental meditation, which is a mantra-based meditation, and I'll make another video on this later. But the form that I do every single day is transcendental meditation, and just my normal day-to-day anxiety has gone down tenfold. It's gone down so drastically. I'm less anxious in most situations, and so this is both a form of conditioning because over time the anxiety is going down, but it's also an acute solution because even on those days where I meditate, my anxiety definitely starts to diminish. Now, do I feel it? Yeah, of course, right? Anxiety is simply a function of the sympathetic nervous system, right? This is the system of your body with all the nerves, right? It's the sympathetic or fight or flight nervous system becoming active or becoming overactive. And now you feel that stress hormone cortisol spiked, and you feel the adrenal hormones like getting going, right? That's what happens. Our fears, right? And so by meditating, you're actually tapping into that parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest, and you're physiologically bringing that sympathetic nervous system down, right? By increasing parasympathetic activity, you're actually going to reduce sympathetic or fight or flight activity. And this is physiologically going to calm you down, right? Now, if you don't have time to sit for 20 minutes and do a form of like transcendental meditation or guided meditation with an app like Headspace or Calm, a simple breathing exercise will suffice. Something along the lines of like breathing in for 6 through the nose, and breathing out. Now, the quieter your breath, the more effective this meditative activity is going to be, right? And so 6 seconds in, 6 seconds out, 6 seconds in, 6 seconds out. As quiet as possible, as much through the nose as possible. But if you have to breathe in a little through the nose or breathe out a little bit through the nose, that's fine. Through the mouth, rather, that's fine. But that is a nice breathing activity to tap into that parasympathetic nerve system and calm the nerves, calm the nerves, calm the nerves. Another thing is, right, your mind and body are incredibly connected, right? So like when you have a thought and the thought starts to make you angry and you start to spiral and you clench your teeth and you clench your fists and you start to, right, and you get angry, well, now that's a physiological response to an emotional, neurological stimulus, right? And so the mind and body are very connected. And essentially when you're feeling feelings of anxiety, well, now you feel it in your body. Once again, you feel it in your belly, your stomach, you start to maybe sweat a little bit, right? Your heartbeat starts to go up. So this isn't just a purely cognitive sensation. This is actually a physiological sensation that occurs. And so the solution may also be in the physiology. So one big thing you could do is shift your body language to align with the emotion and feeling you want, not the emotion or feeling that you have, right? Especially if that feeling that you currently have is unfavorable. And in this case, we're talking about anxiety, right? And so one of the things is instead of being like this, how you doing, you could be like this, because I've never seen someone anxious puff their chest out. I've never seen someone anxious have positive body language. I've never seen someone anxious smile unless it's one of those fake anxious smiles, right? But essentially, having that body language, forcing yourself, even from the facial side of things, to put on the emotion that you want to have, right, is align your body with the emotion and feeling that you want to have. Well, now your anxiety will start to diminish. Will it go away completely? No. All right? Of course not. But are you going to start to emotionally feel better as a response to the physiological change that you deliberately and intentionally make? Absolutely. Another huge thing is affirmations. Now, I'm talking about acute affirmations in the moment. So we have feelings and we have emotions, okay? Feelings are what we actually feel. Emotions are the story around those sensations, right? And so the same hormones and the same neurotransmitters are released when you're excited as when you're anxious. And so when you feel the feelings of anxiety, instead of tapping into the thoughts that go along with them, just keep repeating, I am excited, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited. And eventually, as you continue to repeat that message to your brain, your physiology will change and the story will change around the new sensation. The story of feeling nervous will change to the story of being excited. And it'll go from being jittery to enthusiastic, right? And so here I've given you both the long-term solution, which is simply expose yourself to the things you're afraid of. Expose yourself to the things that give you fear. Expose yourself to the things that bring you anxiety, and as you face them, your spirit, your soul is going to get a heck of a lot stronger. And then we have our breathing exercises, our meditations, our affirmations, our change in physiology, and so that whenever we go to spar, whenever we go to the social event, whenever we go on stage, whenever we meet, potential dating partner, right? Whenever we go into any situation, an exam, whatever it is, a job interview, that we are anxious about, or even if it's just generalized day-to-day anxiety, you have some tools here to deal with it. Hope that helps, guys. Love y'all.